Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new chapter. Oliver Finds a Home. This is a very famous story written by Charles Dickens, and this is a novel also available in your library. And if you get a chance, you read it, and in this you will read about a boy who was an orphan and how he has brought up and got a change. You will see in this story. Now, chapter 6, Oliver Finds a Home. Get started. Match the books to their descriptions. Here are the descriptions of the books given over here, and some of the books you have read already, or some extract from these books you have read in earlier classes, or if you have not read, you please read them. First is, following a shipwreck, a man finds himself prisoner on an island inhabited by tiny people. If we hear about tiny people, we remember Gulliver. He helps the people win a battle against their neighbors. The man is finally rescued by a passing ship which brings him back home. So if we match it, this description will be matched by Gulliver's Travels. You match it, A with 3. Now second is, the three friends decide to take a 2-week boat trip on the river Thames from Kingston upon Thames to Oxford. They take their dog Montmorency along. A series of mishaps, often hilarious, follow them on their trip. Now this description matches fast. A little girl who is raised by her aunt comes to live with her grandfather in the mountains. She makes friends with everybody because of her simple and loving nature. Later she goes to Frankfurt to live with a rich family. This is the story of a little girl, and you have read this story in class 4. This matches Heidi. Sorry, in Raindrops, 4th standard. This is the story. This is the story about a little girl who was also an orphan. A family comes to live in Yorkshire from London. When the father is arrested on false charges, the children make friends with an old man who takes the same train every day. He helps them prove their father's innocence. The family is happily reunited. This description matches with 2. And if you get a chance, you read these stories, or these days you are on net, so you can read these stories on YouTube also. Now let's start the chapter. This is an extract from the novel Oliver Twist. This is name of the novel is Oliver Twist. The name is kept on that boy only, Oliver. Oliver, an orphan, runs away from the orphanage where he is ill-treated. Orphanage, you know what is orphanage? Orphanage is a place where the orphans are kept, where he is ill-treated. He was not treated well and lands in a den of thieves. And he lands in a den of thieves. He was caught by the thieves. The thieves take Oliver to rob a house, but are stopped by the servants. They run away, leaving a wounded Oliver behind. The thieves ran away, and Oliver was left over there. The servants take him into the house. What happens to Oliver? Now you will see where Oliver was left. In that house, the ladies brought him up and how the change came in Oliver. Section 1. In the dining room of the big house, two ladies were sitting at the breakfast table. Mr. Giles, now neatly dressed in a black suit, was waiting upon them. This is the description of a house. One of the ladies was old, the other was a lovely young girl of 17. Two ladies were there. One was old and the other was the lovely young girl of 17. Brittles has been gone a long time, the old lady said to Giles. Giles pulled out his watch. An hour and 13 minutes, ma'am. At that moment, a carriage stopped at the garden gate. A fat gentleman got out of it. He hurried into the room. This is the description. They have seen that boy and they have called the doctor. I have never heard of such a thing, he exclaimed in excitement. My dear Mrs. Miley, my dear Miss Rose, what a terrible shock for you. Oh, please, Dr. Losberne, will you come upstairs and look at the poor creature? Rose begged. Rose begged means Rose requested that fat man, Dr. Losberne, to go upstairs and to look that poor creature. Who is the poor creature? That Oliver. Of course, said the doctor. Doctor said, yes. Will you show me the way, Giles? And he asked Giles to show him the way to the stairs. Giles led the doctor to his patients. The doctor remained in the patient's room for a long time. A large flat box was fetched out of his carriage. You may have seen a doctor having a box. In that he keeps his requirements. The bell in the bedroom was rung again and again. The servants went hurrying up and down the stairs, and he was ringing the bell to call the servants to bring the things from his carriage. At last the doctor came to the dining room to speak to the ladies. Now the doctor has seen the boy and now he will tell about the boy. This is an extraordinary thing, Mrs. Miley, he said. He is not in danger, I hope, the old lady said. The old lady was very much worried about that boy, and he asked the doctor whether he is in danger or not. No, he'll be well again in a week or two, the doctor informed them. Then he asked him, have you seen this thief? No. Hasn't Giles told you anything about him? The doctor said whether Giles, he was a male person in that family, he told them anything about that boy or not? She said, no. Would you like to see him if I come with you? Doctor said that lady to see that boy. Yes, I would like to, and I would like Rose to come as well, if she will. Now she asked also if Miley also wants to see that boy, so I would like her to come upstairs. The doctor took the ladies upstairs to Giles' room. He pointed towards the bed. There lies the wicked thief, he said. The two ladies looked. To their astonishment, they saw a child there, fast asleep, a mere child. His face was white, his wounded arm lay across his chest. The ladies crept softly to his bed. Miss Rose bent over him. As you see in the picture, she is the young lady. With a gentle hand, she brushed his hair from his forehead. The boy moved and smiled in his sleep as if he felt her kindness. "What can this mean?" Mrs. Miley asked. "This poor child is no thief." Mrs. Miley said, "No, this poor child can't be a thief. He is so young, he is so small," Rose said with tears in her eyes. "Let's go into the next room," Dr. Losbern said to the ladies. "We must not wake him up." He asked the ladies not to wake him up. Let him take the rest. Now section 2. In the next room, Miss Rose continued. "Think how young he is." Now Miss Rose said, "How small that boy is. Perhaps he has never known a mother's care." And seeing the boy, she understood the boy has never known a mother's care. As you are having your mother, you see how much care your mother takes of you. So seeing that child, maybe some symptoms were there that told Miss Miley he has not known the mother's care. Perhaps he has never had a home. Poor boy. Oh, auntie, don't let them send this boy to prison. She asked her auntie not to send that boy to prison. "My dear," said the old lady, "do you think that I would harm one hair of his head?" She said, this line means, would you think I will hurt him a little? I haven't much longer to live. I must help all I can. What can I do to help this boy, Dr. Horseman? Let me think, said the kind-hearted doctor. For some moments, he looked thoughtful. Now the doctor was thinking what to do with that boy. Then he asked, "Can we trust the servants to say nothing about the boy?" She asked, servants know about this boy, so can we trust the servants? They won't be saying anything to the police? Yes, Mrs. Miley told him. They will do as I tell them. Now she said they will do as I tell them. As she will tell them, they will do. Good, said the doctor. But first of all, let's hear what the boy has to say when he wakes up. So he asks Mrs. Miley, let them wait till the boy gets up. If we find him innocent, we will help him. But if we find that he is guilty, then we must hand him over to the police. Do you agree? The doctor said, if we find that boy innocent, then we will help him. Or if he is found guilty, then we will hand him over to the police. The two ladies really agreed, for they were sure that Oliver was innocent. Here 4 tells because it is used for because they both were sure that Oliver was innocent. Now Oliver slept for many hours. In the evening, when he woke up, he was very weak, but he was anxious to tell his story. The ladies wept as they heard of the miserable life. When the ladies heard about his miserable life, they both started crying. The doctor tried hard to hide his tears, and the doctor, also being a male, he also tried hard to hide his tears. They did their best to comfort the boy. Oliver slept that night with a smile on his lips. Now Oliver was having love of the people, and he was not afraid of anybody else, so He was sleeping soundly that night. He had found a home. When the police came to ask questions, Mr. Giles and Brittles were ready with their story. Oliver had accidentally wounded himself while playing with a gun. He had nothing to do with the robbery. The housebreakers were two evil-looking men, and the thieves who came to their housebreakers, they were evil-looking men. The servants, with the help of Dr. Losburn, told their story well. The servants, with the help of Dr. Losburn, they told the story very well to the police. The police believed them, and Oliver was left in peace. Oliver found love and kindness indeed. Mrs. Miley and Rose loved the boy, so did Dr. Losburn. Everybody in the house loved that boy. At the beginning of the spring, the Mileys took Oliver to their house in the country. There the fruit trees were in blossom, the garden and the fields were full of flowers, and how the birds sang! Oliver had never known such peace and such happiness. Every morning, Oliver went to an old gentleman who taught him to read and to write. He went for walks with Rose and Mrs. Miley. In the evening, they sat together and talked, or Rose read aloud to them. Often Rose played the piano and sang. Old Mrs. Miley loved to listen to this. So did Oliver. And Miley used to listen the piano, and the same was done by Oliver. Every night he slept peacefully in a clean bed in his own room. Now he was in a house, and he was having the benefit of a good house and house members. 3 months passed by. They were months of perfect happiness for Oliver Twist. And these 3 months were full of happiness for Oliver Twist. He has never got anybody's love. And now he was very happy. Children, if you get a chance, you read this story, this novel, and you will find how Oliver was changed in a good person. It's a very good novel, and you read it whenever you get a chance. And from tomorrow, you are having live class exact at 9:30. So I will be sending you a link, and you all are requested to maintain discipline in the class and not to disturb anybody. So tomorrow we will meet once again after a long break. Thank you all, and you read this chapter, and we will do the exercise tomorrow, and you try to do the exercise yourself. I will ask in a live class, I can ask you. So you try to do the exercise and read the chapter once again, and let's meet tomorrow. Thank you all.